Alright, here we go. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic, Non-Classics. This is episode number 3150 and Doubleshot number 3044. First, we start with a series of one-shots from the series Power Company, and each of these one-shots focus on a founding member of the Power Company. First one focuses on their leader, Josiah Power. It mentions in here that he got his power during the event's invasion. And basically, by the way, all these one-shots are by Kurt Busiek, but each of these one-shots are different artists. This one is drawn by the late Keith Giffen, Al Elgrim. And simply, Josh Power basically got his power. Kind of in the way these one-shots take place prior to the formation of Power Company. He gets his reputation nearly ruined because of the whole invasion stuff. Because he dared get any freaking powers. It's him trying to accept, and plus there's a guest appearance in this book by, of all people, Superman. A very excellent, well-told one-shot. 9 one-shots out there. There's several of them. Next one I'll talk about is basically Manhunter, aka Kirk DePaul. Yes, here's the cover here for this one. This one was drawn by Dan Jorgens, which, that's interesting. I'm surprised, basically, that they didn't have, also Bob Layton, this is one too. I'm a little surprised they didn't have one of the artists from Nightwing do this, because given the fact that, this Kirk DePaul is a clone of the original. He's a clone of Paul Kirk. That's the Manhunter from the 60s, he was second Manhunter. And when he first meets, like, you're not Manhunter. He's like, you're one of his clones. He's like, yes, but I'm my own man. It is simply put, basically. Oh, by the way, Kirk DePaul is a dick, a massive dick, and he's very arrogant. He's so full of himself. And at one point, prior to his death, he thinks of himself as the only recognized Manhunter. Despite that case, man, at that point was recognized as Manhunter besides him. Little short story involving him. Bob Layton does the artwork for this one too. Now, in the case of some of the other ones, there's also Star Rocket, which is done by... Go back here, please. Come on. Thank you. Okay, so Star Rocket is done by Joe Saint and Tom Gremmett. This guest stars Hal Jordan working with Skyrocket. It's basically about... A lot of these ones basically about origin stories. There's also Sapphire, which is drawn by the awesome Mark Bagley and Tom Gremmett. This is basically JLA dealing with basically, a character named Sapphire who just ends up becoming part of the organization. Also, Brooke, too, is basically like the power. He's basically kind of like the big muscle monster. I guess it's a Flash and Batman. Yep. And unlike the other characters, he actually predates all the characters they debuted back in the 70s. And it's just a solo story for them. And then there's also Striker Z. Guest starring Superboy. And this is basically a kind of like a Brucey-esque story with Roman Beeshees on the artwork. Really interesting one-shots. I think that's pretty much all of them. Yeah, I think that's all of them. I got roughly a 9 out of 10. Next up basically we have is... excuse me. Suicide Squad, Volume 3. Otherwise known as Raise the Flag. That's the trade the collector in. It is roughly 8 issues, written by the creator of the Suicide Squad, John Ostrander. At the time this book's released, this was the first Suicide Squad release in 6 years. Like the last one, which was ongoing, this one was a limited series, otherwise known as From the Ashes. That was set up for it. So, simply put, this is basically John Ostrander doing a reunion tour of the original members. I think at the time when this book came out, quite possibly this may have been the 20th anniversary of debut of the Suicide Squad. So I guess Ostrander was brought back to do this particular favor for DC Comics by doing this particular thing here. Yep. And can you believe this book was basically written as a result of basically a, well, come on. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So, basically this book came out as a result of basically a storyline of pages of Checkmate, which served as a backdoor pilot to this miniseries, and mostly put the Suicide Squad reassembled, which at this point Waller is forming his brand new team in this opening issue. And slowly but surely she starts building a team. So, in the opening issue, your members are Bronze Tiger, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, Nightshade, and Environmental Waller. Rick Flag is not officially part back of the team yet. Wade Alley, the guy go after in this book. And the villains are Resta, which I kind of forgot he was actually in this book because I remember he was a big bad guy in New 52. Well, New 52 era. Yep. And apparently he was a member of the Suicide Squad previously. Mm-hmm. And he got killed off by issue 3. Yeah, how have your opinion of the arc this one with Johnson doing the arc? Do you have any members? Well, eventually probably do with dinosaurs. Eventually they do include the third Captain Boomerang. He officially joins the group with issue 3. They kill off Rasta, and of course they find Wade Eiling in these issues. Because why not? Does he join Suicide Squad? No. And a lot of the book also deals with Cliff Carmichael, where he's kind of like a background antagonist for this whole book. Until by the penultimate issue they kill him off, because he basically would be useless. This is a candidate by Rick Flag's son. Yes, Rick Flag's son was Rick Flag III. Yes, his father is Karen Grace, a woman who actually died in the previous Suicide Squad book. Yes. Now, is he dead? Oh, no, he's not dead. This issue here, issue 4, this was his first appearance, issue 50 of the original Suicide Squad book. And it was nothing more than a cameo. They also did with Chemical in this book, too. We also have Count Vertigo rejoining the team with Multiplex. Yes, and by issue 4, they expand the roster a bit more, where Waller is not going to be part of the roster, but she's basically part of it. We have Blackguard, of course, Boomerang, Count Vertigo, Deadshot, the General, Marauder, Multiplex, Plastique. Yeah, and the whole thing is basically she's got once again a bomb in her body, and she has to be kind of forced and coordinated with this group. There's also Twister, Wind Dragon, and Windfall. Windfall, I believe, yeah, she was a member of the Outsiders, who got killed off in this book. I'll get to that. White Dragon is a character from the first book. It's like I was when I brought these characters back just to have them all die at some point. Yes. And a lot of this basically takes on these other group. There's also someone called Carpax. This Inner Circle man who's enemy of the Blue Beetle, which I guess Oswinter felt this though. Why not bring this guy back? Because clearly no one's using him. And then by the penultimate issue, we have a lot of bodies in issue 7. Like Blackguard dies, Windfall, Cliff Carmichael basically because some Suicide members are rogue. And by the end of it, basically, Bane ends up becoming part of the roster. Yes, frickin' Bane is here. Also, Twister has by issue. Bane, Marauder, Wind Dragon, dead by the final issue. But Bane kind of gets part of this group. This, of course, is just prior to his appearance in Outsiders 50, where he joins for one mission and he never sees his group ever again. It's like his whole part of this group was a one-off prior to him become part of the Secret Six, which came out close. I think it was like not long after this they released Secret Six. Yes. But really good issues. I thought Oscar himself did a great job with these issues. And I give Suicide Squad Volume 3, otherwise known as Suicide Squad Raise the Flag, a 9 out of 10. And that right there is the final volume I have to cover for Suicide Squad. With that, I'm done. Now it's going to be replaced with Secret 6. Look at the first volume and the second volume are not very long. It's more like the third volume, basically. It's going to be a bit of an issue. Gets a bit length, though. I have covered some of it already. But the first line is going to be quite interesting because it is not like when you think it's Secret 6, it's the original Secret 6. Like in the case of Guardians of the Galaxy, there was a original versions group that some reason. Now in the case of that one, that's well respected by the writers. This group, well, they later died in their return appearance in the next comics. I'll talk about another time. So that's pretty much a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do this like button. Next up, we have one more comic corner. Unless I call out for dinner, that's next. Okay, thanks you. Bye.